What's up, everybody? This is Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. You're now watching a rundown. And if you hear from TikTok, if you hear from Instagram, X, aka Twitter, or Facebook, I appreciate you for following me on them platforms. Or even if you wasn't following me, seeing the content and then coming over to the YouTube as instructed. But make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And all the subscribers, shout out to you. I read the paperwork the other night of Fat Joe's lawsuit, but more things came to fruition. And in the paperwork, this is what it alleges. So this is from complex.com. Fat Joe's former hype man accuses him of ordering assaults on DMX and Mac Main. Wow. And it reads, what does the lawsuit against Fat Joe say about Mac Main? Deep in the 157-page filing, Dixon alleges that Joe once ordered him to physically assault Mac Main as a retaliation for a remark he made about Joe's wife. According to Dixon, he and others in Joe's circle were instructed to pound out Main if they saw him. This would be alleged assault per Dixon was ultimately not carried out. In docs viewed by Complex, this alleged instance of ordering the plaintiffs to assault Main is argued as a chargeable offense under the state laws in New York and Florida. So the plaintiff, anytime you hear me say plaintiff, the plaintiff is TA, aka Terrance Dixon, and the defendant is Fat Joe, aka Joseph Cartagena. I just wanted to make that clarify. And if you don't know who Mac Main is the president of Young Money Records, also down with Young Money. He's down with Lil Wayne. So I find that weird that Fat Joe would order dudes to pound out Mac Main in Miami and without hollering at Wayne. And I would think some of these dudes is cool, but we know dudes don't really be cool. But I just found that weird that Terror Squad would beat up Mac Main, that's down with Young Money, that's down with Lil Wayne. That's interesting, but this is all alleged, of course, but that's what's in the paperwork. And then with the bombshell is that what does the lawsuit against Fat Joe say about DMX? Joe is alleged to have ordered Dixon and another associate in Miami, Florida to confront and physically assault the late DMX. It's claimed this was in response to a verbal dispute between X and someone in Joe's circle. Though, like the main claim, the would-be assault ultimately never occurred. If he acts up, take the hammer. Joe is alleged to have told the plaintiff, who said in the complaint, that verbal directives of this type were treated as mandatory. This particular alleged instance, as argued in court documents, support the multiple predicate acts of racketeering under federal and state law. So when I read this from here, I actually went into the paperwork and found the excerpt where it speaks about DMX. So that's what I want to read to you really quick. So this is, as you see, this is the actual paperwork. You could look up the case number if you want. You say, that's fake, because a lot of dudes be having fake ass paperwork. I don't got no fake paperwork. But this is it. It says, these threats and attempt attacks demonstrate how the Cartagena enterprise weaponized a strict internal loyalty code and a street-based hierarchy to carry out organized retaliation against anyone perceived as a threat to defendant Cartagena's personal, legal, or reputational standing. Retaliatory violence was not occasionally but institutional, central to how the enterprise functioned and maintained internal discipline. Call that nigga shit the Cartagena enterprise. Goodness gracious. So this is deep. So it says, defendants directed assault on rapper DMX in Miami, Florida. Defendant Cartagena use of violence extended beyond his internal crew. In one incident in Miami, Florida, defendant ordered plaintiff and another associate, Raul, to confront and physically assault the rapper DMX following a verbal dispute between DMX and someone in defendant's circle. The defendant viewed the altercation as an act of public disrespect and ordered immediate retaliation. He instructed plaintiff, saying, if he acts up, take the hammer. The phrase take the hammer was understood within the enterprise as authorization to use a firearm, not simply engage in verbal or physical confrontation. Although plaintiff ultimately diffused the encounter and avoided the violent outcome, his compliance and initiation to confrontation under threat of enterprise reprisal highlights that defendant's orders were non-negotiable. Within the structure of the Cartagena enterprise, verbal directives from the defendant, especially those involving threats of violence, were treated as mandatory. So, you mean to tell me they was gonna whip out DMX? Rough Riders? You allegedly was telling the Goons to whip out DMX? X, get at me, dog? That's wild. That's wild. And I'm reading this right here, and it said the incident is part of a broader pattern in which the defendant, Cartagena, employed trusted subordinates like plaintiff to carry out retaliatory acts. These acts were not isolated or impulsive. These were strategic and methodically issued to assert dominance and protect defendant's status in the entertainment industry. That pattern also includes an alleged unaliving for hire plot targeting Curtis Jackson. Detailed below. Oh, nah, I don't want to make this a long video, but I'm gonna have to read this next. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to get to that part of it. Oh, they got a lot on here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a little deeper into this paperwork and read more, because it gets deep. But let me go back to that initial point. Mac Main, like Mac Main is down with Young Money. Why don't you just call Wayne and say, yo, your man violated, whatever the case may be. But DMX? How do you allegedly tell dudes to whip out DMX and take the hammer if he act up? Nah. That's some low down dirty shit. So imagine if they did some, so that means Terror Squad will be beefing with Rough Riders right now? Nah. And see, this is what happens when we have crash outs. We get crash outs to do the dirty work, right? And this is important, because dudes that get crash outs to do the dirty work, then they'll go make peace. So TA and Raul would have went and did something to DMX, allegedly on behalf of Fat Joe, and then Fat Joe would have squashed it and been in good standing, or however they worked it out. But forever, TA and Raul gotta watch their back. That's how dudes be doing crash outs. Like, yo, you go do this, then once you do it, you forever got a red dot on your head. That's how dudes do crash outs. But DMX? Nah. You don't harm DMX, man. But that's crazy. Let me know what y'all think, man. Make sure y'all leave me a comment below. I'm Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. This is what I do over here. Leave me a thumbs up right now. Just hit the like right now. If you on the phone, just hit the like. It's that simple. And make sure you subscribe. I don't know if I got the right ending to this video. I probably don't. I probably don't got the rundown ending. Y'all know the difference between no filter ending and a rundown ending. But whatever the ending it is, it's the ending for today. I'll fix it later. Because I do all of this on the fly. This is not 40 takes and none of that. I just literally just cut the computer on and just do this. We don't rehearse this or do takes and, oh, let me do it again. No, this is one take. So until next time, I'm Doggie Diamonds. I appreciate you. Peace. See, got the no filter. The no filter ending. Whatever, man. Make sure you like these related videos right here. And if you hit the circle that's spinning with the logo, you can subscribe to the channel that way. Peace.